What's up, Juggalos and Juggalettes? This is your boy Juggalotus from FegaLovers.net here today with the special first one-of-its-kind inclusive interview with the wrestlers of the Rasslerap Charity Tour coming to you this December 10th through December 17th. First one we got on deck today is none other than Tuff Tony. What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing all right. How you doing?
We're doing all right, man. So tell us a little bit about this tour that you guys are getting ready to go out on.
Man, we're getting ready to do a big charity drive, and it's with St. John's Hospital, man, to help, to help some families out, help some kids out, get to hang out with family, and what better way to do it than some wrestling?
Definitely. What better way than beating people's face, right?
That's right.
All right, man. You're also on this tour. You're taking DJ Paul and Young Wicked out with you, which, of course, the Juggalos are used to the kind of hybrid of the music and the wrestling. So that should be a dope experience for everybody. But getting into you a little bit, man, I wanted to dive into a little bit of your history and maybe talk about your upbringing and then, of course, what they don't expect from you on this tour. So you are the second longest reigning Juggalo heavyweight champion. Not anymore because Weedman took it from you, but you have had 3 reigns, almost 900 days of championship holding.
Wow. You know what? I never even thought of it like that, man.
Right. It's 893 days you were the champ, dude.
Damn.
Only second behind Corp, and I know you two are friends, but he's, of course, I think he's over 1,200 days. I mean, he's nuts. He's the champ forever. But I noticed when I was looking at your history a little bit, trying to, of course, understand where you came from and your upbringing, you trained under the Moondogs. I don't know if a whole lot of people know about the Moondogs. What can you tell us? Because they're really old school cats, and unless you're a wrestling fan from way, way back, you may not even have heard their name. What was it like training with that kind of old school style of wrestler, and how did you come upon them and start training with them?
Well, what it was, man, I've never been out of Louisville. And my buddies were going to Arkansas to train. They was training with the Moondogs at the time. And they're the Kentucky Sluggers. And so what I did, I was going to get out of town for the weekend because they'd leave on a Friday, early Friday. Be gone Friday night, Saturday night. Then come home Sunday night. So I decided to get out of Louisville, and I rode down there to Arkansas with them, and watch them get training for the weekend, And I was sitting there on a Saturday, and either it was Rex or Spot, I can't remember which one it was. It was Sean Bergen, who was one of my buddies, to pick him up, slam him, and gave him a hip toss.
Okay.
So, the whole time I've been sitting there watching them do it. So, and anyway, so Rex says, "Come here, Tony, get up in the ring. I want to show them what I'm wanting them to see, So he grabs me, he goes to slam me, and I know you were supposed to help him out a little bit. So, I put my hand down a post, he slammed me, he said, "Wow." So he picks me up, backs me into the ropes, whips me off, and gives me a big hip toss. So I take the hip toss and land perfect. He's like, "Wow." You know what I'm saying? He was more surprised, that, I don't know, I guess it was natural.
Right.
Or you can just say I was smart enough to learn it real quick, one or the other. But, and then after that day, he's like, "Just stay on up here with these guys," right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I did Saturday, and Sunday, we come back in there, come training. I got up in there with him, and we did about, 4 more months on the trip. And, what was the fresh thing about the whole story is that he wound up charging my guys, my buddy Bergen and his partner Jerry, wound up charging them like $2,200 or $2,500 a piece.
Okay.
And then I told him, I said, "I ain't got no money, man." He said, "Don't worry about it." So pretty much they trained me for free.
That's dope, man. That is dope.
But going back to Moondogs, you wouldn't remember them for like USWA. It was like the big wrestling promotion down here in the Midwest, and it was USWA. They used to come on Saturday mornings.
Mm-hmm.
But, so the whole thing is I accidentally became a wrestler.
All totally by accident.
Right.
Well, I know after you left the Moondogs training, you went out with Pondo and kind of started learning that hardcore style wrestling that you're known for by the JCW fans. How was it to transition? Because I know the Moondogs probably taught you all the basics, the mat game.
Well, actually, the Moondogs were hardcore, man. You know, that was another thing I wanted to say real quick. I'm sorry. They beat the shit out of me, man. They beat the shit out of me, and I know the reason why they did it now, to see if I'd come back.
Right.
You know, and I was stupid enough to go back. So, to me, they was training me to be hardcore, and I really didn't know it. You know
well, and that's definitely the difference. You hear a lot of wrestlers say, like, when they grew up, they were just beating the hell out of, you know, and it was called, you know, taking your lumps and you know, hitting the road. And, you know, a lot of guys didn't come back. A lot of guys said, fuck this, I'm not going to do this, you know. You know, Pondo took you into another level of hardcore, and you've experienced a lot of really hard injuries in your career, mainly, you know, your wrist getting cut in a match, also a lot of leg injuries, ankle injuries. How do you, you know, for young guys wanting to come up in the business, and, you know, I don't know if nowadays it's gotten a little softer in the training process, but guys coming in, how do you, you know, tell them that going back is worth it? That it's definitely worth going back and saying, you know what, beat the crap out of me, I'm here.
Right. You know what it is, man. It's heart. You know, if you got heart, it don't matter what happens to you, you're coming right back.
Right.
You know, you can't train nobody to have heart. It's either they got heart or they don't.
Definitely.
You know, and you know, the main thing about it is, if a guy wants to be a wrestler, you know, anybody who comes wrestling, they always say, "Oh man, I want to be a wrestler."
Right.
It's really not that easy, man. You know, I was watching a video with Terry Funk and Sabu when Sabu ripped his bicep wide open. Okay, he taped it up and went another however long he went. Okay, you was talking about the injury I had with my wrist when I cut my wrist. I cut the main artery. Okay, I remember something flashed in my head. I remember seeing fucking Sabu tape his fucking bicep up.
Right.
So my first thing is throw me some fucking tape, you know. So I'm going to tape my fucking wrist up, you know. I know it's bleeding and it's pouring like a faucet.
Right.
But my mentality was telling me, hey, I got to finish this match. So here, let me tape this up. And I think I went another 9 minutes or something.
Wow. Okay.
You know, and then, you know, and the scars on my head, my eyebrow, I've split my eyebrow where my whole eye just flapped down, you know.
Right.
You know, I finished the match there, you know. My whole saying, what I'm trying to get to is that you can't teach nobody to keep going. You know, a lot of people would give up right then and there and say, oh, fuck, I'm out. Here, take me to the hospital.
Right.
When I'm in there in the ring, man, it's all about that show, that heart, and getting the job done, you know. So it's like going into the office, getting your work done, and then going home.
Definitely.
You know, so you got to have heart, bottom line.
Bottom line.
You can't teach heart.
Definitely. It's something that people are either bred with or they're not.
Right.
Now, I know you have kids. Would you, let's say you have a son, let's say he wants to go into wrestling. Would you let him slide in? I know Jay brings his son out to the ring and lets him do some stuff.
Right.
Would you let your kids?
You know what? I tag with JJ.
Right.
You know, so I help JJ with a lot of his moves. I think it's the shit, man. You know, and my son's getting ready to be 2 years old, and I wrestle with him all the time. So, I mean, you know, he's going to have to grow up with that.
Right.
I got a daughter who's 16.
Right.
And she always tells me she wants to be a wrestler, but she's been dancing since she was 3.
Okay.
You know, I'm saying, look, do your dancing thing.
Right.
You know, if wrestling's there, wrestling's there. But she wants to go to Broadway. I said, you can go do anything you want to do.
Definitely.
You know, and I'll pay for her dancing, and I'll keep paying for it until she says, Dad, I don't want to dance no more.
Right.
You know, so.
Now, I know, you know, we in WWE, we see a lot with Ric Flair's daughter coming in, also second, third generation wrestlers. JCW, we've kind of gotten to a point now where, you know, you original wrestlers, you guys that have been here a long time, are going to start having the younger generation coming up behind you and, you know, kind of taking over the wrestling. how do you bring those young guys in? Is it like the Moondogs did to you, or do you just bring them in and say go for it?
It ain't us to choose for what the Juggalos like.
Oh, of course not.
You see what I'm saying? Just the same way with me. I went in and did a show, and the Juggalos just happened to like me. I've seen people who go into a Juggalo show and they'll be like, "Fuck him, he sucks," or
Right.
For some odd reason, the Juggalos love me, and that's how I got there. So, for a young guy coming into JCW, I would have to say, have a gimmick,
right,
and be able to impress the Juggalos. All Juggalos are human. Some of them like some stuff, some of them don't.
Definitely.
So, you got to do what you do. Either they like you or they don't.
For sure. Now, going out on this tour, the Rasslerap Charity Tour, as we said, what kind of matches is it going to be? Are you going to go back for the title? I guess that's the number one question people want to know. Are you going to take the lead in and try to take that back?
Hey, you know what? Too Tough Tony is Too Tough Tony. And the whole idea of me having a belt, it's the shit, and it'd be great. But Too Tough Tony don't need no belt to be great. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, for sure.
And I'd love to have the belt. Don't get me wrong. If they give me a shot at the belt, hell yeah. You see what I'm saying?
For sure.
But if I don't need a belt to be Too Tough Tony.
Definitely.
But I am the Juggalos champ. You see what I'm saying?
For sure.
So, I'll keep serving up shots and going in there serving up potatoes and firing the fist up and giving them flaming fist for a finish. 1, 2, 3,
I do have to say that flaming fist is one of the most unique things I've ever seen in wrestling. I saw it at the Gathering a few years back, man. That was
right.
I don't know how you thought of doing that.
I don't know. You know what? God rest his soul, my buddy Rolling Hard, man. And I used to do a lot of work down here in Louisville with him. And he came up with the flaming karate chop, okay?
All right.
So I always thought that was the shit, man. And pretty much it's like I'm paying homage to him by doing the meteorite. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Because every time I light that motherfucker up, I think of Rolling Hard,
For
sure. It's wrestling is what wrestling is. A lot of people steal a lot of people's shit and make it their own.
Mm-hmm.
And pretty much I stole it from Roland and made it my own. Instead of a karate chop, I'm hitting you with a potato.
Well, definitely one of the things I know Lowe's and Let's just go nuts for, man.
Yeah, just something dangerous, man, and have I been burnt? Plenty.
Yeah,
What I'm saying? One time I couldn't put that motherfucker out. But, I keep doing it, and I love it, man. Something different. That's what I was getting ready to say. For a young, up-and-coming guy who wants to be at JCW, you got to be different. You got to be unique.
Definitely.
If there's 5 fat guys there, one guy's flipping and burning people with a fucking flaming fist, and the other guys are just wrestling, doing the same shit. They're doing, headlock takeovers or clotheslines. I mean, who's going to stand out there? The fat guy who's doing the flips and punching people with the fucking burning fist. You see what I'm saying? You got to stand out in a room full of people who's the same as you,
Exactly. And I think that's, the reason a lot of Lowe's and Let's, of course, embrace JCW, because a lot of you guys are unique. You bring a lot of different styles and a lot of different flavors to the table. And, it'd be interesting to see, more of you start to make it in the bigger shows. I don't even think that you guys would be accepted because... Well,
see, then, you know what? I went to Japan for 8 years.
You did?
In Australia, Germany. I've been all over the country, and the place I call home is JCW. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
And I respect the Lowe's and the Let's, man, because they're the ones that give me the love, man. They kept me around this long from day one, and I owe them that, I owe them the respect, and I hope I work hard enough for them. And I think I do, because they've kept me around and they kept loving me and give me the opportunity, you know what I'm saying?
Definitely. And from a Lowe's perspective, man, we got nothing but love for you. We love what you do. I really appreciate you taking time out of your day, man, to talk to us and push this Rasslerap Charity Tour.
That's right.
You know, Lowe's and Let's got to get out for the St. John's Children's Hospital, Young Wicked, DJ Paul. You're going to see Tuff Tony, Pondo. Who else is going out there with you?
Weed Man.
Yep.
Kevin Gill, of course, ICP.
Definitely.
You know, all our big stars, Congo Kong. I'm trying to think, Rude Boy.
Okay.
Let's see, and a few new guys that we got coming out.
Okay, a few surprises.
Right. And I don't want to tell you because it's something different. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. Well, that's it, man. We really appreciate taking time out. Make sure you get out to the Rasslerap Charity Tour, December 12th or December 17th. I believe there's 3 levels of tickets for that. Go on the website, check it out. Make sure you check out Tuff Tony. Show him the love. The Flaming Fist is unbelievable live. He's willing to put his blood and guts out there for you. Don't mistake that.
Yeah, I do what I got to do for the love of Juggalos and Juggalettes.
Family for sure.
Hey, come out and show St. John's Hospital some love, man. Give a donation, man. That's what us Juggalos are all about, man.
Definitely.
And all of our lets, we give. It don't matter about us. We give. And you know what? Big whoop whoop to all my homies, all my ninjas, ninjettes. Fago lovers, thank you very much, man, for having me on. It's a big honor. And come on out, support the Rasslerap Tour, man. It's going to be dope. And don't forget, Tuff Tony serving shots as soon as I come out to the ring.
There you go. Shots on Tony, man. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you later. Enjoy the tour, man.
Yep. Dope.
All right. Peace.
See you there. Peace.